Hey guys, it's iTalkApple. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite applications for getting things done. And if you're not familiar with a getting things done application, it's where you can organize tasks for, let's say, school assignments, things to do to your house, projects, things like that. So the application is called the Hit List. It's in beta, but it's really polished and very stable. I haven't found any bugs. So I do recommend it. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that before I start the video. A task in the hit list contains a title, a start date, a due date, notes about the task if you'd like, and tags. I'll go over the interface. So here it is. It's organized into two columns. It's got a great interface. It kind of looks like a notebook with these tabs. And you have your list on one side and then the actual list that you've selected on the right side. You can view your lists in two ways. You can view them as folders, or you can view them by their tags. So I'm just going to go over the folder view because that's the default. So you have your inbox, which is for any task that you have not categorized into a folder, and it's usually the first thing that pops up when you open the hit list. So I like having video ideas in my inbox just so I'm always reminded to make a video for you guys. So the next category is called hit lists, and these are automatically created. There's today and upcoming. Today contains anything completed today, due in the next 3 to 5 days, and anything due today. Upcoming has anything due in the next week to 40 days, I think, or maybe it's 30 days, I'm not quite sure. And then you have folders. So two of these folders were actually created with the application. You have projects. Learn the hit list is like a short user guide for all the shortcuts you need to know to actually get started with the application. And then you have an on hold folder, again just created because I suppose the developers figured there's going to be some tasks where you want to do them eventually but you don't really have a start date or a due date. And then I've created a school folder, and this is pretty much where I spend most of my time in this application. So within my school folder I have separate lists: history, bio, Spanish, English, and photography. So I like viewing the folder itself so I can see all the lists at once. And if you ever want to create a new list, you just go to the plus button. You can add a new list, a folder, or a smart folder. Smart folders actually automatically put your lists into folders according to rules that you can set. You can add multiple rules all about tags, priorities, start dates, and due dates. You can get really specific with this application, but I don't use smart folders. When you're viewing a list, you can change the view between the what's called outline view, like this, or card view. So you can change to card view by clicking this button or Command 2. So here's card view. And card view is useful for actually editing notes about that task. I'm going to go ahead and show you this application in action because that's the only way I can really show you what it's like. At the bottom, before I get into this, it actually gives you some hints because this application is all about keystrokes. It's all about using your keyboard and staying away from the mouse. It's perfectly fine to use the mouse. You can always go to like task and then priority, estimated time. You can go to file, new task, new subtask. Once you get the hang of the keystrokes, it's a lot faster to use the keyboard than to go up to the menus or do it with your mouse. I have an assignment for English. It's an essay and it's due Monday. So to create a new task, I press enter and I'm going to call it Catcher Essay, and it's suggesting tags for me already, but I can tag it. So put slash essay and slash essay and slash homework. It automatically assumes I'm going to put homework. And you can also add what's called a context tag, so the @ symbol, and then this is supposed to be where you want to actually complete this assignment. So this is something I'll be doing at home. And now I can change the start date, so pressing tab will bring me over the start area. Say May 19th was my start date. I can double click here to set the due date if you don't want to use the keyboard. and it's due on Monday, the 24th. So there's my task. Now, let's say I want to go into more detail about what the task is. So what is the essay about? So I can switch to the card view by clicking this button up here at Command 2. And now I can actually type, let's say, my topic, which is what draws Holden to the museum. That's my topic. And I've actually started this essay, so I'm going to go ahead and drag in the document. And as you can see, it makes a shortcut. So whenever I click on this, it will open my Word document. You can type anything else, any other notes that you want. And it does still display your start date, your due date. You can even estimate how long it's going to take you. So let's say I think it'll take me 1 hour. So you can actually navigate through the cards with your arrows on your keyboard or by clicking on them. Now you'll notice that it actually has a little preview. It says 1 item because I did drag in the Word document, and then a little preview of what I had started typing. It says topic, what draws Holden to the museum. If I hover over this text, it actually shows me everything that I've written with this task, so all the gibberish I wrote. Now something's bugging me about this. As you can see, I've actually created the task below the chapter 8 and 9 task, so I can actually move the order by using the W key on my keyboard to move up, and the S key moves down. So it's pretty easy to get to. And then let's say I've completed the task. All I have to do is hit the space bar, and now it's been checked off. Or you could have, of course, clicked the checkbox. That's really all there is to creating a new task. Sometimes you don't want to create a task this way, and that's why the hit list has a nice feature called Quick Entry. So if I go to the Preferences, I can select Shortcuts and change the shortcut for the Quick Entry window. I've set mine as Command-Shift-E because it's easy for me to remember. So let's say I want to make a new entry, Command-Shift-E. I can do this anywhere in the application, and let's call this hit list video. And now I can change the start date today. I could do today as well. And I can change what folder I want to add it to. So let's say I want to add it to this YouTube folder. And then hit save, and that's it. So now if I go to the YouTube folder, you'll see hit list video right there. It's due today, so it's in bold. And I can check it off, hit the space bar, or I can cross it off completely, like, oh, never mind, I don't need to do this anymore, and hit the X key, so it actually crosses it off. So that's what it's like to use the application. The only con really has to do with the keyboard commands because it does take a little getting used to. The enter to create a new task is really easy, but some of the other things you might forget every now and then, and that's why I often find myself just using the mouse. So it's not like you have to use the keystrokes. Another useful feature is there's something for actually repeating tasks. So there may be something that you do every week or every month, and you want to make sure that you don't have to manually enter that every month. So for example, history, I do reading questions often. So I'll create a reading questions task and hit enter. So now it's selected. All I have to do is hit Command R, and I can repeat this every month. And let's do after completion. Can make it do after 7 days. Done. It's really simple. You get the little icon showing you it's a task that will repeat, but I'm not going to use it, so I'm just going to cross it off. The only real weakness to this application has to do with syncing. Although it does sync with iCal, the calendar application on the Mac, and the developers, if we go to the preferences, there is an iPhone sync option, but it says that it's almost done. It's going to be done eventually. But it said that for a year, so I'm really not sure about the development of the iPhone application. All I know is that I like the application on my Mac, and if you bring your computer to school, it's really useful to just have it open when you're taking notes, and if your teacher assigns something, you can enter it right there, and it'll always be there. You'll never forget what to do, and it's just really useful. So I hope this video helped you out. Go ahead and check out the hit list. It is $49.95. I know you're probably thinking that's expensive, but Things, which is another good option, is also $49.95. If you really want, I can make a video comparing them, but I feel like that'll be kind of repetitive since I just made this video. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions or questions, then just comment below.